Namaste and blessings once again. Unity of Fredericksburg. It's an honor and a pleasure to be with you once again to dive deep in this whole thing that we call New Thought, to be able to explore and examine, to excavate what exactly the treasure within us that is us, to extract that and bring it forth into the world in brave, bold, and beautiful ways. Today, we are talking about this idea of hope and new beginnings. So let's pause. I'm going to start with the second one first. New beginnings. What does it even mean? Right? Like when we think of the concept, the idea of new beginnings, typically we are isolating them to specific occurrences. A wedding, well, that's a new beginning as a married couple. Purchasing a home, it's a new beginning in one's own home, right? Typically, we think of these as isolated experiences, like compartmentalized Tupperware. This is new, this isn't. This is new, this isn't. And yet, pause. Take a breath. Feel the inhale and the exhale. And then answer, was that inhalation not a new beginning of that particular cycle of respiration? You open your mouth to say something. Is that breath and that first word not the new beginning of a new thought or new sentence or new expression? Every time you sit down for dinner, breakfast, lunch, snack, is that not a new beginning to nourish your body? Every time you wake up, is that not a new beginning for your day? A new beginning for your life in that particular moment? So when we think of it that way, we recognize that this idea of new beginning is constant. Every day is a new beginning. Today is Sunday, not Saturday, not even last Sunday. It's a new Sunday. It is a Sunday that will never be again. There's only one. There's only this particular Sunday, on this particular day, on this particular month of this particular year. It will never be again. That's no different than any moment during this day. 8 a.m. today was a new beginning. 8 a.m. for this day, brand new, and will never be again. 6 p.m. tonight, new beginning for this day that will never be again. When we think of it in that context, we recognize that every moment the phoenix is rising from the flames, the ashes. The phoenix is reborn, resurrected, transformed in that moment. And in that moment, we are more apt to carpe diem, seize the day. We are far more available to the gift, the newness that the present moment is presenting us with. Greater appreciation because it's new. And like any new car, new clothes, new jewelry, new boo who you in love with, new. It's sparkly and shiny and smells good and all that stuff. It's new. It's new. And what do we tend to do? It wears. And it's no longer new. It's no longer as shiny. It's no longer as bright. It's no longer as whatever. And then the appreciation of it tends to diminish. And sometimes fades away altogether. But if we keep in the forefront of our mind this idea that it's all new, all of it, is new. Every now is a new now. How do I walk gently, compassionately, with appreciation, ease, and grace in this now moment that will never be again, that will never repeat again? Brand new. This service today, brand new. Even though you can watch this specific talk, you can watch it of me again, but it's still going to be a new reviewing of it. It's not going to be the same as the very first time, even your 100th time, because I've watched The Matrix. I'm not telling you how many times I've watched The Matrix trilogy. Doesn't matter. The point is, every time I've watched it, it was a new time. And because I watch it from that consciousness, every new viewing gave me something new. It gave me a new takeaway. So it's not simply me sitting there watching it again and again and again and again and again and again and again. Every reviewing of it gave me a new viewing of it. What if every conversation we have, even when it's with, like I see you every morning because I live with you, but it's a new conversation because it's a new morning and you are a new person and I am a new person. Isn't that what new thought honestly is supposed to be? Having a new thought. And if I have a new thought, then I have a new experience. And when I recognize that all experiences are therefore new, what does that open up for me? What does that give me the space to hold and appreciate and live, move, and have my beingness from? Breathe. So I want to talk about this thing called hope, because typically hope is a watered down version of wishing. I really hope I get that new job. And I want to offer us this idea of, when I say I hope, this is what I do. When I say I hope, hope is an acronym, and it's clearly H.O.P.E to the second power. And what it means is I have only proactive expectations and expressions, not reactive. Thoughts are creative. Thoughts aren't reactive. Thoughts create. So when I am proactive in how I live, move, and have my beingness, then I am already laying the foundation for the experience that I desire to have. For example, if any of you follow me on Facebook, then you heard about this. But for those of you who may not, recently I had a tooth extracted. Now, the lead up to it, lots of pain. Find out that my insurance has run out, so I have no more dental insurance. Got to pay out of pocket. And I have the opportunity to be reactive and I'm in pain and my wallet's in pain and my mouth is in pain and I'm in pain. My pain is in pain. Or I can be present, feel the pain. Ooh, this hurts. What is mine to do? Proactive. I no longer like the dentist that I was going to. It's not meeting my needs. Find a new dentist. Proactive. Found a new dentist. Go to the dentist. Let them examine, excavate, explore. They tell me what needs to be done. Okay. I have to pay out of pocket. Proactive. Okay. Tooth extracted. Okay. But let me explain something to you. This is what I tell the dentist. We're going to go ahead and extract the tooth. Yet I need you to know and understand that there is a space in me where I fear because, and I tell her the story about, a friend of mine, father had a tooth extracted, cancer in his jaw, had to have his jaw removed, and then died a month or 2 months later. And she showed me the photos of her father without a jaw, and it seared into my mind and seared into my solar plexus chakra with fear. And the dentist said, well, we can't pause. We're going to do the extraction because I am an ordained New Thought minister, currently serving the CSL Greater Baltimore community as a CSL ordained minister. I do not and will not allow fear to dictate or dominate how I live. It will not suppress the joy in my life. We're going to extract the tooth and the implant, et cetera, whatever it is. But the implant's going to be $5,000. I don't care how much it is. What do you need to do today? What do I need to do today? Today, in this moment, I have only proactive, creative, thought is creative, proactive expectations and experiences. Don't have space, time, or the desire to be other than that. So breathe, because that's what we're invited to do, rather than hope in terms of just, I really hope it maybe, but be more proactive and say, how do I reduce the likelihood of a maybe to a more than likely, to a without a doubt, to I'm absolutely certain? How do we shift the consciousness to reach a point where we say, even when things are, even within the mystery, I am absolutely certain that I will do my best, even when I don't know what to do. I anchor and ground, and I'm absolutely certain that love will, and my innate divine wisdom will always guide the way through the fog of the mystery of, I don't know. How am I going to pay for it? I don't know. I am absolutely certain that the way will be found. So how do we move from simply wishing and hoping to having only proactive expectations, experiences, and expressions? And that's all. So that we live, move, and have our beingness with absolute certainty. The author of The Alchemist, Paulo Coelho, says, when we love, we always strive to become better than we currently are. Breathe. And when we strive to become better than we are, everything around us becomes better too. And we know this in New Thought. We know that we're contagious with the energy of the Christ consciousness and love and compassion, the Bodhisattva, the Buddha nature, the Om Shanti. We know this, but we're not living it to the capacity that we could, because oftentimes codependency, people pleasing creeps its way in, like the Toltecs would refer to it as the parasite that keeps us in our heads with criticisms and judgments and guilt and shame. And we're invited to move beyond that, to not judge ourselves or judge others, because in this new opportunity of new refound hope at a higher level of consciousness, we understand, as Anne Frank said, The Diary of a Young Girl, it's really a wonder that I haven't dropped all of my ideals, because they seem so absurd and impossible to carry out. Yet I keep them, because in spite of everything, I still believe that people are really good at heart. Our ideals, our core values, our spiritual integrity, our spiritual imperative, that no matter what is happening in the world, no matter what I am invited to do that is new, whatever I am invited to hope and hold on to, whatever is going on, I hold firm. I am convicted to my ideals, my spiritual identity, my truth. Breathe. Because that's what this is all about. How am I living, moving, and having my beingness? Not in a fear none way, but a fearless, less than I used to fear manner. As William Faulkner said, you cannot swim for new horizons until you have the courage to lose sight of the shore. You cannot swim for new relationships until you have the courage to let go of those that no longer serve you in beneficial ways. You cannot swim for democracy and justice and equity until you have the courage to swim away from and lose sight of the shore of racism, sexism, and homophobia. You cannot swim for new horizons that recognize that I am that I am, until you have the courage to lose sight of the shore that says you're weak, you're not good enough, you're a sinner, you're not smart enough. To lose sight of, because that's not my vision, that's my vision. And my vision pulls me. It says in Psalms, when the people have no vision, they perish. My vision pulls me. It inspires me. It renews and reinvigorates me. And that's why I am able to hope. That's why I am able to let the words of J.R.R. Tolkien resound in my mind. And when he wrote in The Fellowship of the Ring, the world is indeed full of peril, and in it there are many dark places, but still there is much that is fair. And though in all lands love is now mingled with grief, it grows perhaps the greater. So even though things are going on and there is grief and sadness, especially now, like during the COVID years, there's grief and sadness, there's still love. There has to be, because God is present. We recognize there is one power and one presence, God the good, the omnipotent, the omnipresent. It is all that is. So even when there is grief, blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. There is love, but are we willing, ready, and able to swim in that direction and lose sight of the shore that says it's hopeless? Racism, sexism, all that stuff, it's hopeless. Living with hope means living consciously and on purpose. Having your vision, your mission, your purpose, and your core values on full display and aligned with your mental equivalent, your thoughts, your words, your feelings, and your actions, all showing up, recognizing that you are known by your fruits, the manner in which you bear witness to your divinity. That's what this is about. Explore and recognize every moment is a new beginning. Even when you look at the unity principles, really look at them and ask, what is the practice that I am invited to engage in when I say unity principle number 2, our essence is of God. Therefore, we are all inherently good. We are all inherently good. This God essence called the Christ was fully expressed in the personhood of Jesus, and yet it is also within all of us. This spark of divinity is within everyone. What does that mean? What does that look like? How do I practice that? How do I approach this person who is a member of the KKK, and yet I say all are good inherently? Christ, divine. What is my invitation to be, do, or have in that moment by practicing this? What is my daily practice and how is it impacting the world? How is my understanding of hope and my renewing? Recognizing that every moment, every breath, every thought, every word, it's all new, 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 fresh, bright, and shiny. Even if I say the same word, God, 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 each time I said it is a new time that it's being said. And because it's new, it is filled with the power and the brightness and the joy of every single moment in the present, because the present is our opportunity. It is our point of power, our opportunity to choose and choose again and choose again and choose again. because each moment is new. Point of power. How do I live in such a way that I understand that I, as a beneficial presence in the world, I am impacting my surroundings. I am impacting my family, my community, my church, my state, my city, my country, my planet. I am impacting and affecting all of it because there's nowhere that I can go where God is not. Yes, there is peace on earth, and let it begin with me. With me, starts with me, but it doesn't stop with me. So this idea of rugged individualism, we use it as our easy way out to say it's not my problem. Old. That's not my practice. Old. You're supposed to focus on the good. Old. That's not new thought. New thought says, so in the same way that medicine used to say, so how do we do with a cold? Oh, we bleed you and put leeches on you. And then medicine said, yeah, let's make up a new way. How do we address it now? So medicine today is new. Medicine today isn't even what medicine was in 2021, but is new thought. The same new thought it was when Phineas Parkhurst Quimby was coined the father of new thought in 1859. 1859 versus 2022. Are we still recycling the same old new thought, or is it new thought, the renewing of new thought, the hope of new thought, a new thought? Or are we still playing with the consciousness of the moderate, or as Dr. King said in Letters from a Birmingham Jail, the concept of the white moderate? Are we still, even within new thought, is that the consciousness that we are stuck within? And if you're not familiar with the Letters from a Birmingham Jail, I strongly recommend and invite you to read it. It is powerful because Dr. King also mentions this idea that it is time for the recapturing of the prophetic zeal. Because he says if the church does not recapture its prophetic zeal, it will become an irrelevant social club without morals or spiritual authority. See, that prophetic zeal, the recapturing of prophetic zeal means staying on top of, in the same way that you renew or upgrade your phone, the same way that you renew or upgrade your software on your computer, the same way you renew or upgrade your car, unless you're still driving the original Model T Ford from way back when, you've somewhere in there renewed it. And even if it's still the same 1970 Oldsmobile, something in it's new. At least new gas, new spark plugs, new tires, something is new. So even in that, there's the, what am I called to do? To be renewed, be transformed, be renewed by the renewing of your mind, by the transforming of your mind, by the activity of living, moving, and having your beingness in and as this practice. Be new. Allow yourself to be new and to hold the energy of what hope truly means as a transformative power, as a superpower, like the Avengers superpower, like Wonder Woman, Superman superpower. Allow your hope to be that superpower, knowing that it changes and transforms not only your individual life, but collectively the lives of all. And so we breathe as we enter into meditation. We breathe, recognizing the goodness, the godness of each and every person around us, and the godness of ourselves, recognizing that it is all there is, and so it must be what is breathing itself with this breath. Inhale. And exhale, breathe. As we breathe, we feel the joy and the gratitude of knowing that this breath is life. This breath is life living itself in, through, and as each one of us, this individualized expression of God, Spirit, the universe itself, recognizing that everything we need is available. We simply must avail ourselves to it. And so in this moment, that is what I recognize we are doing, availing ourselves to the infinitude of spirit of the universe, the infinitude of community, the infinitude of new thought, the infinitude of all that is, as this divine power and presence called God shows itself, moves itself, acts upon itself. This omnipotence, omniscience, omnipresence, the very consciousness of it is living, moving, and having its beingness as us. And so I surrender this with gratitude, knowing that that is precisely where we are and how we are operating and how our mental equivalent operates and how we demonstrate and manifest a world that works for all in this new moment. In this new embodied hope, the Christ is present and life is good. Now we go out and live and walk the walk. That is what is so, and so it is. Namaste, blessings, much love. Looking forward to when we can get together live and in person once again. Much love. See you soon.